Hey guys, JB here from Alpha Wolf Consulting, coming to you today with another episode of Understanding Thyself. And this episode is all about understanding my intuition. So, this episode is a deep dive based on some past experiences I've had around understanding, well, what is intuition? Like, how do we understand what intuition is? What is that feeling of intuition? But also, how do we understand, like, what is our intuition trying to tell us in life? And how do we move through life working with our intuition, not against it? Okay? So, to start off, understanding, well, what is intuition? First, we have to understand the base of consciousness. And current science is like, the current scientific understanding is that consciousness is not just something created in my brain, but it's actually a frequency. So it's not something that forms because I have neural networks that are, using synaptic pathways to send messages and therefore creates consciousness. No, current science is saying that consciousness is a frequency. And in our subconscious, we have the subconscious part of our brain, we have these things called quantum microtubuli. And what they do is, through acts of quantum randomness, the frequency of consciousness enters one end, and on the other end is this identity of self that I have, or singular consciousness. So to understand this is to understand, well, if that's how consciousness is formed, well, then it's safe to say that randomness in life is the universe or life or God speaking to us. Okay, so you think about it in your own life. Okay, there are many times, you can probably attest to this, where you've been talking to people and they've said something random, just a random piece of information, and it's sort of, once you hear it, it starts to click in your subconscious or in your mind, and basically all of a sudden you start to have this epiphany and you get clarity on something, and it can be something that isn't even relevant. But to the same, when we're doing random acts where our mind is just switched off, our mind is always processing and sort of working with new information, old information, and current problems to sort of solve our problems. So it's like, in understanding this, I've had the realization that those random feelings, those random urges that we get, that I get to take the path left instead of diverting right, is actually, the universe, God, my intuition speaking to me and saying that this is the path that is best for you. Because have you ever had that in your life where, in a situation, you just get a feeling, I should go left. The external environment and everything else says go right, but you're like, no, I got a feeling to go left. This is your intuition talking to you, saying that your destiny, or the path that you seek, is the left path. Even if your conscious mind or your ego is saying, but I want to go right. And that's one of the things we got to understand, is that the mind and the heart have to work together in terms of feeling our way through life, or being able to see beyond our current environment or external environment, to be able to see what we do not even perceive yet. And this is our intuition, is that ability. So it's like, for me, I get random urges to do things in context of career, business, of what I'm trying to achieve in life. And it's sort of like, if I don't follow them, I start to feel anxious and stressed. And then once I follow them, I feel at peace and relieved. And that's a funny thing, because we can all sort of attest to this, to where, like, if we're going against like our internal state or our gut feeling, it's sort of like, you know, really, really difficult to sort of put our finger on, why do we feel this way? Why am I feeling maybe stressed? Why am I feeling anxious? Why do I feel like I have to make a move? I have to move somewhere. Because that's what happens to me. If I get an urge or an impulse to follow a path and I don't, then I start to feel really uncomfortable with where I am, like I'm being boxed in or trapped. And that's one of the things we'll sort of talk about. But really, in understanding intuition as well, our intuition, so if we think about it like this, we've got our conscious mind, our unconscious mind, and our heart. And our conscious mind and unconscious mind are sending out, you know, information through thought, and our heart sends and receives vibrations or frequencies. Okay? So, you know, in my life, a funny thing that happens is whenever I follow my intuition, it's sort of like, as soon as I start going down that path left, the doubt starts to come in. That feeling of belief starts to become overwhelmed by the negative thoughts or the self-doubt, or, you know, my limiting beliefs. And I've come to realize that that's all the ego. That's all my ego. Because the thing we got to understand about intuition is our intuition, okay, tells us to go left. But for us to truly go left, we have to believe and have faith that if I go left, I will reach the goal that I want, or I will reach the desired, you know, location in life that I want to reach. And that's the thing. The ego always wants to know for certain what the path looks like. Wants to know for certain, you know, what are going to be the pitfalls? What's the time frame? What's going to be the cost in finances? What's going to be the cost in energy and effort? And the funny thing is if you ever look at anyone who has truly succeeded in life, like built an amazing company, or, you know, achieved an amazing goal, if they had known how difficult and long of a journey they were, you know, entering into at the beginning, the majority of them typically say, I wouldn't have done it. I would have tried to find another way. And that's sort of one of the things in life that our intuition's really good for, is that our intuition is that North Star, that when we're sort of, so to speak, trekking through the desert, so when we're walking through the desert, and we just know that if I keep walking, I will reach, you know, the promised land that has been set out for me. I will reach my goal. Like, we have to fuel our North Star with our belief and our faith, in terms of, you know, our intuition will sort of give us this feeling of feeling satisfied, feeling safe, feeling like this is meant for me. Have you ever felt that way in your own life? Where you have this dream or desire or ambition in life, and it just feels like it's meant for you. Feels like this is your path in life. That's your intuition talking, telling you what is external to the physical world. Because we've got to understand the ego understands life in the physical, in the material, in what I can touch and feel, in the results that I can see and taste. And our intuition is the heart space. It's our connection to everything around us. It's our connection to the energetic states, right? The energetic state or field that is life, that is the life force that is everywhere around us at all times. Because you got to understand, like, everything gives off energy. We give off energy. The trees give off energy. Animals give off energy. Physical items give off energy. So we're constantly moving through life in two dimensions, in the physical dimension and in the energetic dimension. And that's sort of why, you know, we might be walking down a dark road late at night and we sort of start to get a feeling like something's off. That's our intuition picking up on a shift in the energetic state or the energetic field around us. And sort of the intuition will say, like, something doesn't feel right here. And, you know, in my life, early on, many times when I would ignore those feelings, I would get put into negative situations that could have been avoided by me turning right instead of going straight. And it took me a long time to sort of understand this, because for a lot of my life I was trapped in the ego, in always needing to know and be in control of everything, to create plans, to prepare. And the funny thing is, in life, picture it like this: we're all just walking through life, and life is a field. There are no right or wrong paths in life. We can walk west, we can walk east, we can walk north, we can walk south. It doesn't matter. All destinations end at the same destination. But all destinations are individual to each of us. That's the thing. We all end in death, but the lives we live while we're alive are individually different to each of us. That's the beauty of life. So, like, it's very important that I've found in my life to, like, learn and understand, well, what is my intuition saying to me? How do I understand what needs to be done? How do I understand the direction? How do I know that I've made the right decision or the right choice? And for me personally, whenever my intuition tells me to turn left, I speak with God. I speak with life, the universe, and I say, I'm with you. I'm ready to turn left. If left is my demise, I'll see you up there, happily. Because that's the thing. There is no good or bad, right or wrong in life. That's the ego. The ego believes in right or wrong, good or bad. So, to understand this is to understand that all paths are the right path for me. All paths are meant for me. The path I walk is the path I walk. Does that make sense? So it doesn't matter what path I choose, but the path I choose to walk becomes my path, my destined path in life. So it's not that I have to walk any certain path. We are free to be and have and do whatever we want in life. You are free in life. But if your heart is telling you, go left, and your mind is trying to say, right is where I want to be, the mind sees the present, sees what currently is. The heart can see what could be, can feel what is right. And this has been very important for me in sort of working to understand my intuition at a deeper level, is that once I choose to trust my intuition, okay, and I choose to walk that path, I must fuel it with belief and faith. Even if everything in my external environment is saying you're failing, you're not succeeding. Who said that? What metrics do they go by? Do you see? I create the metrics of success. I create the metrics of happiness, of fulfillment. You create the metrics of happiness and fulfillment and success for yourself. So at any moment, if you're telling yourself that you're failing and you're not succeeding, just know you're choosing to measure your life as not succeeding. It's all perspective. To succeed, to fail, like it's all just the same thing. It's just some things we see as success and some things we see as a failure. But all circumstances and environments and situations and challenges and obstacles build us to become better and stronger. Through persevering through the difficult days, we find out who we truly are. That's the beauty of life. By being in every moment the ideal, so being my ideal self in every moment by choice, I become my ideal self in every moment by choice. So to the same for you. If your heart says turn left and follow that path, you can turn left and follow that path, and you are on that path. You do not need to reach the end of that path to feel the success, to feel the happiness, to feel the joy. But the other realization I've had when following my intuition is it's important to understand that there is no good or bad. So if I feel doubt, that's beautiful. If I feel lack, if I feel failure, if I feel loss, that is an absolutely beautiful thing. Because without the lows, there cannot be highs. Without the lows, the highs cease to hold meaning. So when I'm in those moments where I feel low, I remind myself how amazing it is to not just feel like the best. You know, when I'm feeling self-doubt, when I'm feeling scared within myself that I'm on the wrong path, it's a beautiful feeling. It means I care about the outcome that I'm looking to attain or achieve. I care about what I'm doing with my life. And that's an important thing. To truly lose the ego is to understand that, like, the things I want in life, the things I desire, what I aspire for, it's okay for me to care deeply for them. It's okay for me to feel loss if I don't achieve a milestone. It doesn't mean I have to feel negative, but it just means that it meant something to me. And it's through that caring that I can pick myself back up and push harder next time. And harder next time. Because the truth is, in anything you do in life, once you turn left and follow your intuition, we enter the desert. where everything seems barren and lifeless.